Let's talk about socks. There are two things you absolutely need to knit socks. The first is yarn, and the second are needles. So in this tutorial, we're going to be using genuine sock yarn, which is a fingering weight yarn, and the one I've chose is from Leading Min Fiber Arts. The color here is Yarn Hoarder, and the reason I like this for a sock yarn, this base is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon fingering weight. This is my favorite base to knit socks in because of that 25% nylon. It makes it really nice and sturdy and soft, and also a little bit thinner than your 85-25 blends. You're also going to need needles. Now, needles are completely your own preference, but what I like to use are these ChiaoGoo Red Lace needles. These are 32 inches, and that means from tip to tip, including the cord, it measures 32 inches, and they're completely metal. The point I would say is like veering on sharp, but not as sharp as some, and the cord is really nice. It just doesn't kink up. So this is going to be used for magic loop, but if you have another preference for how you like to knit your small circumferences, by all means, you can do that too, and I'll give you tips along the way. While yarn and needles are the only things absolutely necessary for you to knit socks, you might find these light bulb stitch markers to be helpful. I like to have some different colors so that I can mark different parts of my sock, but I'm going to be using these silver ones to mark rows while we're knitting, and I'm going to be using these red ones to mark each new section of our sock as we go. I've got my yarn wound up into two 50-gram balls. Now, while it's not necessary to wind two balls, I like to do it so that I can have these two socks going in tandem so I can finish them around the same time. I've also hand wound these, which you don't have to do. You can cake your yarn. You can cake it all into one ball. You can do whatever you like, whatever is best for you. But let me get this ball of yarn and let's get started.